Batteries. Everyone has them, everyone uses them. They are in just about every form of electronics that you and I use. But when you run out or you can't find one to replace something, that's where the problem is. This is the Urban Sentinel. Let's get into it. Now, batteries, for everything that we use them for, we go through a lot. Tons of them, year after year. But technology has moved up. Batteries tend to last a little bit longer. The devices that use them don't seem to gobble them up the way they used to 5, 10, 20 years ago. But when you do run out or you need to change out batteries, keeping track of what you have and what you use them for is the key thing, because in your mind you may think, oh, I've got plenty of AA or AAA, or I've got 9 volts, no problem, not realizing that the 5, 6, 7 different devices that you're using all the time are using up all those batteries, and that one item that you need, you end up having to take batteries out of something else and put it in there, robbing Peter to pay Paul sort of thing. What you should start looking at is organizing your batteries, especially when you are buying batteries by themselves, or even in some devices when they come with batteries. And we know that a lot of things, when they come with the free batteries, they're not the highest quality battery and they tend to run out very quickly. Even if that's the case, you buy an extra set of batteries and swap them out. Keep that slightly cheaper set for something else that you're not going to immediately need, or something that's not on the high priority level of keeping power. Now, one of the things that I used to do, and I'm sure a lot of you do, is you get a package of batteries. You maybe only need 1 out of the 4 or 2 out of the 6. You take the rest and you either leave them in the container that they come in, or you throw them into a box, a Tupperware, a bag, someplace, stick them into that drawer that's in your kitchen, and you just throw them in there, and that's where they are. But again, it leads you back to the situation where you may not be sure of the exact number and types of batteries that you have. You replace the battery in this device, you replace the battery in that device, and pretty soon that drawer, although it's filled with batteries, they're never the ones that you need. So one of the things that I put a little money into, and it didn't really cost that much, is basically a battery caddy. Now this is called the Battery Daddy. It will hold D, C, 9 volt, AA, AAA, and has a small compartment for those oddball size ones, the 2032s and 2048s and the 123s that people use for very few but specific items, and you throw those in there. It helps keep it organized, and as you saw, you can easily see what you have. Now, mine is not filled up by any measure whatsoever because, well, batteries are still expensive. But I do buy them when I have the opportunity, and I buy a combination of non-rechargeable, just the good old-fashioned single-use batteries, and also rechargeable batteries, because I use both for certain things within the household. And I always suggest that if you're going to use batteries in certain critical needs things, especially if you've got bug-out bags and emergency equipment that you need to be able to use right away, don't put rechargeable batteries in them first. Keep the regular batteries in them, or keep them packaged with those single-use batteries, because those batteries have a longer shelf life and they'll stay charged up years, versus rechargeable batteries, while they're still good, whatever power is in them starts to automatically deplete over a few weeks. So a fully charged rechargeable battery after a week or two is somewhere down in the low percentage, maybe 50%, maybe lower. And then when you do need it, you go to turn on that device, you've got to charge it up. Now, I will say that having rechargeable batteries to limit the cost of replacing batteries all the time is also a benefit. But again, use it on things like your remote controls for TVs and certain small devices that you do use on a regular basis but aren't critical. So when it's not functioning, it's not going to cause a problem. You can pull those out, put them onto the recharger, let them sit for the few hours, and you go about your business. Maybe wake up the next morning, pop them back in, and you're good to go. But it's your choice on that matter. Now, one of the things I did like about this is it came with a battery tester. So this way I can actually determine the strength of the batteries that I have. And I started breaking it down into, on this side, these are all non-rechargeable, and then on this side will be all of the rechargeable. So this way it's a quick reference when I look at it, depending upon what I'm looking to do. I can pull out the rechargeables when I know I'm going to be using them, put them on a charger, let them sit on there for a few hours, and then they're good to go. The other side is primarily all the single-use batteries. It holds a lot larger AA, because AA is still one of those primary items that fits into a lot of small devices that we use. Now, those batteries are not exclusive to electronic and electrical devices. As an example, I've got cordless tools, power tools that they use batteries as well, and anyone that has them knows that they can be pretty expensive. So depending upon what you're buying, I try to buy my tools when I do buy them in kits and packages, so hopefully it'll come with more than one battery. With that being said, on the occasion where I've had to buy something and it only came with one, I bought an extra one just to make sure that I can always have one charged up, especially when I'm doing a lot of work with them. So when that one gets low, I can swap it out for one that's already charged and ready to go, and I keep on moving that way. And with all of them, of course, you have the plug-in chargers, so I have the ability right now to have at least 2 or 3 batteries on deck, charged up, ready to go, while I'm still using the other batteries for the devices that I have. Now inside the house, I've got this small little charger, plugs into an outlet. This actually came with a package of batteries, and it's real simple. It just charges AA and AAA. You can fit 4 into the slot. When you plug it in, the light will be red, showing you basically that it's charging up, and then after a few hours, depending upon the type of rechargeable battery you have in there, it'll turn to green, and then you're good to go. Pull those out. I also have another, it's a slightly older charger, plugs into the outlet, same thing. This one actually charges up D, C, AA, and AAA, and 9 volt, all inside them. So in this case, depending upon what I'm using, I can load this up and get those going. The primary thing that you want to have, especially when you're prepping, is you want to make sure that you've got a decent supply of batteries for all those emergency pieces of equipment you use, for your flashlights, for your communication radios, for your just regular over the open air radio, any type of sensors, cameras, things that are battery operated. You want to make sure that you have a way to keep them running as long as possible, or have a way to recharge them. And even with these chargers that I have that all plug into wall outlets, I can run my generator, if for nothing else, getting everything that we need charged up, ready to go, half hour or so running the generator. That'll give most of them enough juice to keep going. You can use devices where you plug them into the cigarette lighter of your vehicle, or you can even have small solar devices that you charge them up solar power, or putting power into a battery, because they are not that intensive when it comes to using electricity. Some of them do take a little bit longer to get done than others, but depending upon what you're using, you kind of have to figure out how long you need those batteries to run, 15, 20 minutes, hour or so, whatever it is, and plan accordingly. Now, most of the batteries, I do have some that are sitting in a box, and those were just extras that I hadn't placed into that carrier at that time. I keep them centrally located for that reason, so this way we can grab that one case, pull it out, and get the batteries we need. Hopefully, once that's filled up, I'm still going to have other batteries. I'll probably store them in some type of container, maybe plastic Tupperware type of thing, whatever it is, and put them with some of the other prepping equipment that I have. Or even when you buy batteries and you're buying a large amount and you just leave them in the package because you don't need them right away, you still want to keep them someplace where, one, you know where they're at, and then two, you can get to them, quickly pull out what you need and get going. And again, it still comes down to the use of the item that you have versus the immediate need with those batteries, because again, single-use batteries, they hold their charge a lot longer. You can leave those on the shelf for years and then put them into something and they work right away. A rechargeable battery, no matter what, it's going to need to be charged up. You may pull it out the package and it may start working, whatever the device is, but then an hour, 2 hours later, 3 hours later, it's losing power because it was not fully charged at the time that you purchased it or opened it up. So you have to take that into consideration. If you're in a blackout situation, the power's out, and you don't have any way to charge, then the rechargeable batteries at that moment aren't going to do you any good. Now, one thing you can do, which I will say I have not done yet, it's on my list of things to do, is you want to set yourself up a small charging station. Basically, it might be a surge protected strip that you can plug into an outlet, and you've got dedicated charging plugs for your cell phones, your laptops, any radios, any chargers, things like that. It's in one location. So in the event that you're given the heads up that a hurricane's coming in, or a blizzard, or there's going to be some work being done on your power lines by the utility companies in the next few hours, you can plug all those things into one location so you can see them, know where they're at, you're not forgetting anything, and they're all there getting charged up at once. And with them having effectively a dedicated power strip, if you do have a generator running your house, or you have outside source for power while your power for your apartment, your house is down, that's easy enough to plug in and get those things up and running. I mean, even such things as, powered lanterns and other devices like that, eventually you're going to need to get those things charged, and it's preferable that you charge batteries for a lantern during the day so you can use them when it's dark at night versus, sitting there in the dark and suddenly that light gets dimmer, 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 and then it's gone, and now you're scrambling in the dark trying to find your other flashlight and hope that that one's working as well. Well, that's all I got for you on this one. I'll catch you guys in the next one.